The autumn rain drummed against the floor-to-ceiling windows of their Gangnam penthouse as Adanna Okafor sat curled on their Italian leather sofa, her dark skin glowing in the warm lamplight. Her braided hair, adorned with golden cuffs, cascaded over her shoulders as she mindlessly scrolled through her husband's tablet, the one he'd carelessly left unlocked. She wasn't snooping. Not really. She'd only wanted to check their shared business calendar when the notification popped up. Jiwoo 2 hearts. Appa. When are you coming? I'm waiting. Adanna's heart didn't break. It froze. Her fingers, trembling slightly, tapped the message thread. What unfolded before her eyes was a digital betrayal spanning 3 months. Flirty messages, late-night video calls, photos of Park Min-ho with a young woman. Pretty, delicate, with that porcelain skin Korean beauty standards worshipped. So this is what you've been doing, Park Min-ho. Adanna whispered to the empty room, her Nigerian accent thickening with emotion. For the next 2 days, she moved through their home like a ghost. She smiled when Min-ho kissed her goodbye. She laughed at his jokes over dinner. She made love to him when he reached for her at night. But inside, Adanna Okafor was calculating. On the 3rd day, while Min-ho was at a business meeting, probably with her, Adanna thought bitterly. She dove deeper into the messages. Lee Ji-woo. Appa, I can't stay in this Gazawan anymore. The walls are so thin, and it's embarrassing when my friends visit. I need at least a 2-bedroom apartment in Hongdae. You promised you'd take care of me. Park Min-ho. Baby, you know business has been tight, but I'll figure something out. You deserve better. Lee Ji-woo. How tight can it be? You and your wife own one of the biggest luxury import businesses in Seoul. Don't tell me that Nigerian woman controls all the money. Face with rolling eyes. Adanna's jaw clenched so hard she heard her teeth grind. Nigerian woman? She repeated, her voice deadly calm. Oh, this little girl has truly lost her mind. That money wasn't just Min-ho's. It was theirs. Everyone they'd earned had come from Adanna's connections in Lagos, her family's textile empire, her negotiation skills that had opened doors throughout West Africa. She'd built Kim Okafor luxury imports with her bare hands, teaching Min-ho about African markets while he taught her about Korean business culture. And now this child wanted to furnish her life with their children's future? Adanna picked up her phone and called her cousin, Chisholm, who ran a production company in Seoul. Chiso, I need a cameraman. Someone discreet, professional, and available today. Adanna? What's going on? I'm about to teach someone a very important lesson about respecting other people's marriages. Adanna replied, her voice smooth as silk and twice as dangerous. Using Min-ho's phone while he showered, Adanna sent a message to Jiwoo. Let's meet today. 6 p.m.
Café Noir in Itaewon.
I have something important to discuss about your apartment. She deleted the message and waited. By 5:30 p.m., Adanna had transformed herself. She wore a stunning Ankara print wrap dress in royal blue and gold, custom-made by her mother's fashion house in Lagos. Her makeup was flawless, sharp winged eyeliner, glossy lips, skin glowing like midnight honey. Her natural hair was styled in an elegant updo with gold accessories catching the light. Her cameraman, a young Korean man named Juno who thought he was filming a documentary about multicultural marriages, adjusted his equipment in the car. Mrs. Okafor, are you sure about this approach? Juno asked nervously. Adanna smiled, checking her reflection one last time. In Nigeria, we have a saying, the lizard that jumped from the iroko tree said he would praise himself if no one else did. I've built myself up once. I can do it again. But first, this little girl needs to understand what she's dealing with. Lee Ji-woo sat in the corner booth, looking every bit the K-drama heroine. Long straight hair, designer handbag, probably a gift from Min-ho, checking her phone impatiently. Adanna walked in like she owned the place, Juno trailing behind with his camera subtly positioned. Agu! Adanna exclaimed in perfect Korean before switching to English with her rich Nigerian accent. What a beautiful young woman. My husband truly has excellent taste. You're even prettier than the last one, though at least she had the decency to disappear quietly. Jiwoo's head snapped up, her eyes widening. Excuse me? Who are you? Adanna gracefully slid into the seat across from her, crossing her legs elegantly. Forgive my rudeness. I haven't properly introduced myself. My name is Adanna Okafor. You must be Lee Ji-woo, yes? My husband's newest investment. The color drained from Ji-woo's face. Your husband's... Wait, you're Park Min-ho's wife? Oh, you know my government name. Adanna smiled, her eyes cold. Yes, darling. I'm the Nigerian woman from the messages. The one you seem to think controls all the money. She laughed lightly. Well, you're not entirely wrong about that part. Ji-woo's shock quickly morphed into defiance. She straightened her spine. Look, Mrs. Park, or Okafor, or whatever you call yourself. I don't know why you're here, but I'm not intimidated. Your husband chose me. He loves me. And if you came here to beg me to leave him, you're wasting your time. Beg you? Adanna's laughter was genuine, melodious, and slightly unsettling. Ah, darling, you're running faster than your shadow, as we say in Nigeria. I'm not here to beg. Then what do you want? Adanna leaned forward, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Tell me, Ji-woo-ssi, do you ever wonder where Min-ho gets the money he spends on you? The lavish dinners? The designer bags? The promise of a 2-bedroom apartment in Hongdae?
Ivo is Braufurovet.
He's a successful businessman. You both own. We own a luxury import business, yes? Adanna interrupted smoothly. But do you know what we import, specifically? Before Ji-woo could answer, Adanna gestured to Juno. Did you get good footage of her? Juno nodded, playing along perfectly. Yes, Mrs. Okafor. Very clear shots. Adanna studied the camera screen, then looked back at Ji-woo with an appraising eye. Good bone structure. Clear skin. You look healthy. She paused dramatically. Tell me, dear, how is your reproductive health? Regular cycles? No complications. Ji-woo stood up abruptly, her chair scraping loudly. What kind of crazy question is that? Are you insane? Sit down. Adanna commanded softly, her Nigerian authority cutting through Ji-woo's Korean outrage. We're not finished discussing business. What business? I don't have any business with you. Adanna's smile turned razor-sharp. Oh, but you do. You see, when you involve yourself with my husband, you become part of our enterprise. We specialize in very exclusive imports and exports, and we're always looking for fresh, healthy candidates. Juno stepped closer, examining Ji-woo through the camera. Mrs. Okafor, do you think the clients in Lagos would approve? She has the physical qualities, but we'd need to run medical tests, especially for the fertility aspect. True. Adanna nodded thoughtfully, never breaking eye contact with Ji-woo. The surrogacy program requires extensive screening, but the organ donation side of the business is less picky. She tilted her head. How attached are you to your kidneys? Ji-woo-ssi? Ji-woo's face went from pale to green. You're both absolutely insane. This is illegal. I'm calling the police. She grabbed her bag, but Adanna's voice stopped her cold. Before you run off to my husband crying, you should know something. Adanna's playful demeanor vanished, replaced by ice-cold seriousness. I built Kim Okafor Imports from nothing. My family's money, my connections, my work. Park Min-ho was a mid-level manager at a failing electronics company when I met him. I made him who he is. She stood up, her height and presence suddenly overwhelming in the small cafe. That apartment you want? It would come from my children's education fund. The allowance he gives you? That's my daughter's piano lessons. The designer bags? My son's taekwondo fees. So when you say my husband chose you, Adanna leaned in close. Understand that you're playing dress-up with borrowed money, borrowed time, and a borrowed man. Ji-woo's hands trembled. He loves me. He told me. He told the last one the same thing, Adanna interrupted. And the one before that. Ask yourself, Ji-woo-ssi, if he'll lie to the woman he made vows to, who bore his children, who built his empire with him. What makes you think he's telling you the truth? With that, Adanna straightened her dress and turned to leave. Oh, and Ji-woo? she called over her shoulder. When he calls you tonight, panicking and confused, trying to explain, don't forget to tell him I said hello. After work, Park Min-ho came home looking like he'd seen a ghost. His usually confident walk was replaced with uncertain, heavy steps. He barely touched the japchae and jollof rice fusion Adanna had prepared, his favorite meal. Adanna watched him from across the table, sipping her palm wine serenely. "Yobo," she said softly, using the Korean term of endearment. "You've barely eaten. Is something wrong at work?" Min-ho's chopsticks clattered against his plate. He looked at her, really looked at her, as if seeing her for the first time in months. "Adanna," he said, his voice hoarse. Did you go anywhere today?" She set down her wine glass, her expression the picture of innocent concern. "Me? No, I was home all day. Why do you ask?" His jaw worked silently. His phone had been buzzing incessantly since he got home. Jiwoo's calls, every single one unanswered. "It's nothing," he finally muttered. Adanna rose gracefully, walking around the table to place her hands on his shoulders. "Min-ho SSI, we've been married 8 years. I know when something is troubling you." She leaned down, her lips near his ear. "If you need someone to talk to, I'm right here. I've always been right here." Min-ho turned to look at her, and in his eyes, she saw it. Fear, confusion, and the dawning realization that the quiet, supportive wife he'd taken for granted might be far more dangerous than he'd ever imagined. Adanna smiled sweetly and kissed his forehead. "Rest well, Jagia. We have inventory to review tomorrow for the Lagos shipment. Business waits for no one." As she walked toward their bedroom, her phone buzzed. A message from Chisholm. "The video is editing beautifully. What's the plan for part 2? Adanna's fingers flew across the screen. "Oh, my dear cousin. This is just the beginning. Let's see how long it takes for both of them to break. I'm just getting started." She hit send and smiled to herself. In Lagos, they had a saying, "The patient dog eats the fattest bone." And Adanna Okafor was very, very patient. If this story touches you and you're rooting for completion, please subscribe, like and share. Comment your insights and tell us where you're watching from.